Since September, Nifty is down 12% from its all-time high, and everybody on the internet has started to say the same thing, and that is buy the fucking dip. But should you actually invest in every dip, and is it a sound advice to follow? Let's find out. First, let's understand how does the stock market work. Like many things in life, the stock market is also cyclical. There are good times where everything just keeps going up, and there are bad times where everything keeps going down and down. We call these good times the bull market and these bad times the bear market. When we are in a bull market, people think that the market will always only keep going up, and when we are in a bear market, people think that the market will only keep going down all the time. But this is because of a flaw with our human brains known as the recency bias. And because of this recency bias, we tend to believe that the things that have happened in the recent past will continue to happen in the future. But this is a very fatal flaw when you're in the markets. Since the market has been bullish for the last 4 years and every dip has been bought after the COVID crash, people tend to believe that this will continue to happen in the future. But it makes more sense logically that we should now get into a prolonged phase of consolidation or correction. But man, India is amazing. We are the fastest growing country in the world and shit. We are not gonna go into a bear market. Well, is that true? You see, we've been told about India's growth story hundreds of times and how it will drive up the economy and the stock market as well. But let's look at reality for a second. You see, India's GDP growth has started to slow down since the start of 2024 itself. In fact, since September, the GDP growth has been coming below even the market expectations. So clearly the GDP is not growing as fast as everybody is expecting. Now you might say, well, the consumer will come and increase their discretionary spending and continue to prop up the economy. But how will they do that? Because wage growth has also started to slow down, which means that the consumer will not be able to increase their discretionary spending. And here's the mother of all problems, Trump. Donald Trump's actions until now has heavily leaned towards keeping the US at the top and doing so at any cost. It won't be a big surprise if tomorrow you see no support coming from the US for India and also tariffs being levied on Indian goods that are going to the US. And if this comes true, things will be pretty nasty. But you see, the real fall has still not begun, and that is because the US stock market is still near its all-time high. So if people are already scared of the fall until now, just imagine what will happen when the US stock market starts to fall and our markets face even more pressure. So then, what should you do? The answer to that is that buying the dip works in a bull market, but when the bull market becomes extended and is in its late stages, you should stop buying the dips and start holding as much cash as possible. And how will you know if the bull market is about to come to an end? Simple, just look at the data. Simple data points like GDP growth, corporate profits, PE ratios can tell you if the market is expensive or not. And if the market is already expensive than average, then that means there are lesser chances of the market continuing to move ahead and rather more chances of a correction. When data points such as GDP growth, corporate profits start to slow down, you should start to hold cash because this means that the market top could be very near and we could start a correction anytime. But what's the point of doing all of this? Can't you just invest at any level and just sleep and have a good corpus left with you after 10 to 15 years? Well, yes, but you'll never be able to make exponential returns and you may also underperform benchmark indices like Nifty. To make exponential returns, you have to buy when nobody is buying and you have to sell when nobody is selling, because when nobody is buying, you'll get amazing bargains on stocks that are very hard to come by in good times, and when nobody is selling, your investments will be worth much more than normal times. Going forward, a lot of people will be experiencing a bear market for the first time and they'll get to know what goes up can and will also come down. And in this process, a lot of great opportunities will arise, but a lot of people will be scared to pick them up. What's extremely important is that you should have a good amount of money to invest in these opportunities when they arrive at your doorstep, and that will only happen if you don't invest in every single small dip and wait for the right time to invest all of your money. Stay tuned because there's a video coming soon on how to find the right time to invest. With this, I would like to end the video with one of Warren Buffett's quotes that I'll never forget. We play offense when others scramble for survival, and I hope you too buy stocks when others are panicking to sell them. See ya.